Hello. Okay, I'm setting my timer because we're talking about art today and I do tend to get kind of excited about it. So, timer, start. That way I don't like forget and go on forever. Okay? Okay, that being said. So, we're in the Renaissance, yeah? And yesterday we were looking at this right here. Florence, Italy. Okay, today we're going to start looking at some of the really famous Renaissance painters. There's a lot of them. I mean, I showed you some Botticelli yesterday, but there's like four really famous ones. Hold on. And you know their names. They're named after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my gosh, I said that backwards. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are named after them. Okay, so it kind of should be easy to remember. You have Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, and then Donatello, except we're not really going to deal with Donatello. I'm not being rude about Donatello, but for the most part, he's really only a sculptor. Like, he doesn't do it all like the other guys do. Okay. Um, so that's why we don't really deal with him. He's not really considered a full Renaissance man. No offense to Donatello if he's your favorite Ninja Turtle. Okay, so we're going to start with Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci does it all. When we refer to the term Renaissance man, like, we're literally talking about Leonardo da Vinci. He does it all. He's a painter. He sculpts some. His sculptures aren't really considered great, but he does sculpt some. Oh, he is a sketch artist. He writes. Um, he is a teacher. He is a scientist. He's an inventor. He does everything possible. He's a Renaissance man. So let's look at some of his stuff. Hey, there's one in your ear. Is it not in your ear? Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know. Bye. This right here is Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. It's just a sketch. It's not like a great painting or picture or anything. It's literally just a quick sketch. Okay. He did it himself. So he did himself. Yeah. Self portrait. Except it's just a self drawing, really. This right here is probably the most famous painting that we have of Leonardo da Vinci, except it was done after his death. So we don't know how accurate it was. This painting was done based on descriptions of him. Um, but as far as like art while he's alive, we don't really have a lot. So this is it. This is what we can go by that says this is what he looks like as an old man. Okay. So he drew this of himself. You can see here, he is a sketch artist, a drawer. I just like that word. Sketch artist. Okay. Let's look at what else he can do. Oh, that's him. Look at his writing. He writes. Do I not have his journals in here? There we go. This is usually next in my classroom teaching. This is one of his actual journals that we do still have. We have several of them. I love his writing. It's so cool. You're actually looking at writing from the 1500s. Isn't that cool? And what is he doing? Man, I don't know. Some kind of scary math. That's all I know. So he's a writer and a sketch artist, but also a mathematician. Ooh, smarty pants. Do you notice anything when you look at his writing? Did you notice? He writes backwards. His words start over here, and he writes this way. We read right to left. No, no, we don't. We read left to right. He's writing right to left, backwards. But what's interesting is he doesn't write his own name backwards. He signs his name correctly. This is his name. D-I, D, the, or something. Leonardo da Vinci. He writes his name correctly. There's all these different theories as to why he writes backwards. And I mean, honestly, we don't know because we don't know. Like, we can't ask him. Some people say, well, he didn't want people to know what was in his notebooks. Guys, mirror writing is readable. Look. Just look at it for a second. I'm sorry, my head's big and it's in the way. There we go. Can you read that? Did you get it? This is what mirror writing looks like. Now you try it. Mirror writing can be read. Plus, it's called mirror writing because all you got to do is put it in front of a mirror and it looks normal. So, was he trying to keep his journal secret? That doesn't really make sense because it's readable. Some people think it was just the way he naturally did things. They think that maybe his name is correct because he was like so trained how to do that. Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. It's just one of those weird things that he does, his weird little quirks. Here are some more of his sketches. Okay, you see some more of his drawings. Look at all the detail in her hair. What's he looking at here? Here we have some science. He's looking at bones. Leonardo was very interested in how the body not even just looks, but works. I mean, he wants to know how it looks so that he can be a better artist, of course, but he wants to know how it actually works. Oh, okay. I got an email from the office and I was like, what? But it's no big deal. So anyway, he's also science. Okay. He's also studying anatomy, bones, all that good stuff. Here's showing you where he's studying muscles. This is a really famous actually drawing. It's called the Vitruvian Man. You'll see it all over the place, especially as you get older and you like know what it is. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, that's that thing that I learned that I don't really remember anything about, but I remember it. This is studying muscles and studying movement. He has several of these Vitruvian Mans, but this one's the most famous. Inventions. This is what Leonardo called his flying machine. People are always like, he invented the airplane. He invented the hang glider. That's what this is. He invents the idea of an airplane, being able to fly. But really, this is just a glider. Like, there's no motor, nothing. It's just through the air. But do our hang gliders that look just like this work today? And he invents it in the 1400s. 1400s, you guys. And we're still using things that he invented. That's pretty cool. This right here is another one of his inventions. It's another flying apparatus that is called the helicopter. You're like, how does that work? Yeah, guys, this wouldn't work. The idea for a helicopter is there, but that ain't gonna work. The basic idea is the wing catches these things and it spins, and it takes you up. Awesome. But do you see some problems? Again, there's no motor or anything. So what happens when those stop? You're gonna be like, yeah, boom. But wait, it's okay because he invented something else. Oh, I didn't hit the button. He invented something else if that happens. Parachute. Okay, guys, he's in the 1400s and he's doing a parachute. Impressive? Okay, this wouldn't work. This wouldn't work because of the shape. Again, the idea is there and the idea is great, but his design, not so good. It's not going to work because you have these like really, really sharp edges. This is actually going to cause you to like fall faster to the ground. That's not good. If you look at our parachutes today, they are mushroom clouds. They're mushroom shaped, not clouds. They're mushroom shaped. What the heck? There we go. They're an arch. Wait, I can't get my hand right. There we go. They're an arch shape, not sharp angles. The arch hits the wind and then causes you to slow down as you fall. These sharp angles, it's actually going to cause the wind to whip around and cause you to fall faster. Oops. But again, the idea is there. What's that? Dude, he invented this in the 1400s. There's some issues. Like, shouldn't this be connected right here? Somewhere up here. So, shouldn't there be a connection here? Like this being all, or no, this, okay, I'm saying it back or wrong. This being only connected right here is kind of a problem. There should be another connection here. But again, the idea is right. The idea is there. He's so smart. This. Da Vinci was also hired. Sorry, I almost died. Da Vinci was almost hired by a lot of people. The Borgias and Florence and Milan and all these different places to come up with cool new weapons, cool new weapon ideas. This is one of his ideas. Let me put my head over here. It just looks like a crossbow. Some of you are like, dude, crossbows have existed forever. You're right, they have. But this is a person right here. Person. Leonardo called this a ballista. It's basically a giant crossbow. Really cool idea. The problem is, again, the idea is cool. Like if something this big is shot into a city wall, that city wall is just gonna crumble. Or like the wall of a castle, it's just gonna crumble. Or any big wall, it's just gonna crumble. That's the idea here. The problem though is getting something this big, your projectile, your arrow that you're shooting has to be so big that it's not really feasible. Plus, where you have like forests and mountains and not exactly flat land, this is really cumbersome to travel from city to city, like to go attack other places. So it's a really cool idea, but again, it doesn't quite work. Look at this. Did I put the other one here? Okay. I wasn't sure if I put the other machine gun picture because I think the other machine gun picture is clearer, but this is his idea for machine gun. It's what we would call it. The gun. Guns are finally starting to come into Europe along trade routes from Asia. Okay. The Chinese invented gunpowder and have been using guns forever. But Europeans are just now getting a hold of them. And Da Vinci thought gunpowder and like blowing stuff up was the coolest thing he had ever seen in his entire life. He comes up with this idea though, because there are some problems with those old school early guns. You shoot, and about 50% of the time, you end up with what's called backfire, where some of the gunpowder actually shoots backwards and hits you. 50% of the time, gunpowder, hot, burning, is gonna like fly in your face. Well, nobody wanted to use them. If you watch movies that are accurate, like I don't know, like I'm not a Western person. I hate Westerns, but if you like Westerns and they're accurate, you'll see gunslingers, they have gloves, leather gloves on their hand. That's so that if you shoot the gun and there is backfire, your hand doesn't get burned. You'll also see sometimes, I mean, once we get like scopes and stuff, people will be doing this, like aiming with like their eyeballs. But until we have scopes, people weren't really shooting directly in front of their face. They were off to the side a little bit. Like they would aim with their hand off to the side so that, again, if there's backfire, it doesn't really hit them straight on. Well, Leonardo is like, dude, we need some better. We need things that don't backfire every 2 seconds. You know what else we need? We need a gun where you shoot and you don't have to reload it. Because guns, you should have learned this in the 8th grade. You put the gunpowder in, you put the like bullet in, and then you had to like shove it in there. He's like, oh my gosh, it takes forever. So this is his idea. This comes preloaded. Each one of these has a bullet and gunpowder already loaded into it. This that looks like a rake is the same idea, it's just a different design. Each one of these is preloaded with gunpowder and a bullet, okay? When you go to war, all right, you're on a battlefield, you're standing there. This is out there, okay, already loaded. Then you simply light fuses, like lighting a candle. And the fuse, like you see in movies, it's right? This fuse will until it gets wherever. And then once it gets there, the bullet here shoots out. And then immediately this one shoots out. And then this one, and then this one, and then this one. So it's like, when this is empty, well, crap, you're in trouble, right? No, because you have multiple of these things there already loaded. So this one has already gone and like shot everybody, right? No big deal. This one then starts. That's my machine gun sound. Then while that one is going, you are relighting and reloading this. It's actually a beautiful idea. People are still using swords though a lot. So it doesn't work that well. People had the mindset that it was dishonorable to kill somebody from far away. That fighting with a sword was honorable. So even though this is a really cool idea, a lot of the Spanish, I don't even know where that came from. A lot of the Italians who Leonardo was like coming up with these ideas for, they didn't want them because they were like, oh, that's like the cowardly way to fight. So anyway, it's a cool idea. And again, y'all, it's what we do today. Oh, did I not? Okay, timer. I was looking. Anyway, it's what we do today. And he comes up with this in the year 1400s. It's crazy. This is his spaceship. No, it's not. This is his design for a tank, basically. It's basically a motorized vehicle that is armored. This picture is showing you what the inside would look like and like you sit and stuff, but this is the inside. This is showing you what the outside would look like, okay, when the like lid is on it. Let me zoom in and move my head. Okay, so okay. Sorry, one of you just sent me a message. Okay, so anyway, this right here is the outside of the tank. Again, this over here is the inside. Yeah. Do you see where the guns are located? Well, I mean, they're on the outside. That's not smart. They're also pretty low. You're gonna like shoot people's legs. You're not killing them in a war. If you shoot their legs, I mean, okay, they're probably not fighting anymore. Good job, but they're not dead. So again, great idea. It just needs to be tweaked and like perfected a little bit. Now, as far as his art, Leonardo's two most famous paintings. This one, The Last Supper. Okay. I was like, but we're good. It's out of order, but we're okay. And then this one, the Mona Lisa. The Last Supper. The Last Supper is a religious painting, okay? You have Jesus here, and then you have his 12 disciples. If you know the story of the Last Supper, this is when Jesus does, oh, I said that backwards. If you don't know the story of the Last Supper, this is when Jesus does, like, breaks the bread, and he tells his disciples, this is my body that's about to die. Like, this is right before his crucifixion. This is also when, like, the wine is drank, whatever. And he says, this is my blood that's about to be given for you. And then he says, hey, one of you guys is about to betray me. And all of his disciples are like, oh, not me. And that's actually what you're seeing right here. Okay. You're seeing the disciples like react to him saying, one of you is about to betray me. And like, that's why I'm about to get crucified. It's one of you. And that's the moment that Leonardo painted. Look right here. I don't remember. I was going to say, I think this is Bartholomew, but I don't really remember. But anyway, look at him. He's like, not me. This guy right here is like leaning over. And this guy, he's like standing up. Look at his hands on the table. He's like, who? Right? If you come over here and look at these guys. There we go. I was like, there's three more. It's like, who is he? I don't know. Is it me? Like you can see what these men are saying to each other just based on his paintings. This one is like, it's not us. It's got to be one of them. He's pointing this way. This guy, look, his hands are inward. Me? This guy, no way. His hands are out. Like, nuh-uh. This guy, Jesus, are you sure? I believe this is Doubting Thomas. And actually, if you know Doubting Thomas, this is actually symbolism for the finger, the hand, put your hole in the hand. If you don't know the story, don't worry about it. This right here is what I want to show you because this is where like some of the cool details are. So this right here, I always have kids who think that the story, the book, and the movie, The Da Vinci Code, is true. It's not, it's fiction. Even the guy who wrote it says it's fiction. Leonardo says who all of these men are. This is John. John was like Jesus's best bud. They were best friends. And even in the Bible, it doesn't always say John. It says the disciple who Jesus loved because they were best friends. So this is John. And look at this. Next to John, you have Judas sitting right here, and he's leaning over. He's leaning over because Peter has shoved himself in between the two of them. It's like his hand is on John's shoulder, and it's like he's saying, who is it? Because look at Peter's arm and his hand. Behind his back, he's holding a dagger. He's like, oh, I'm going to get it. If you know, again, if you know Bible stuff, Peter is the one who like does things before he speaks. Like he's the one who in about, I don't know, a few hours is going to chop some guy's ear off. And Jesus is like, bro, calm down. And Jesus is going to fix it. So anyway, Peter doesn't think before he speaks. But that's what's happening here. And then you see Judas. And look at his arm. Follow his arm this way. He's reaching for a piece of bread. In the Bible, Jesus says, well, the one of y'all who grabs this bread is the one that's going to be. Like, nobody noticed? I mean, I don't know. If somebody did that to me and they're like, one of you is about to murder the president or whatever, and then they said, the person who grabs bread next, I'd be watching. Who grabs the bread next? Apparently none of them noticed, but Leonardo puts that in here. Some cool little details there. How are we doing on time? I'm trying to go fast, you guys. Okay, I don't know why this is here. It's just out of order. It's not even for this week. It's like next week, whatever. This right here is probably Leonardo da Vinci's most famous painting. It's called the Mona Lisa. It is not the moaning Lisa. And I've heard kids that really truly thought that's what it was called. Mona, M-O-N-A. The Mona Lisa. Oh, dang, I thought I had a picture of how big it is. I was going to show you the size. Let me show you this. Because the Mona Lisa is pretty cool. I'm going to hang out. Wait, what happened? Okay. Mona Lisa is kind of cool because people always think it's like this big giant painting, and it's really not. Okay, I'm like, it takes so long. See, it's really pretty small. Here, you can see it better right here. Compared to these dudes, it's really pretty small. Leonardo's, he took like forever to paint this sucker. There we go. Which has like people, that's one of the reasons that people are like so intrigued by it, is because it took so long. So like, what was he doing? Like, what? Well, supposedly, just her lips. Just her lips. Took like 3 months or something. Okay, you guys, I paint. Now, I'm no Da Vinci, okay? But like, all the paintings in my room, I've painted. I know you don't know that. Oh, wait. See all those? Everything that's hanging, well, sort of, I painted. So, I paint, right? I don't paint like that. And I certainly don't take 3 months to paint somebody's lips. I was looking to see what I had over here. You can't really see them. But you see Snow White way back in the background? It didn't take me 3 months to paint her lips. I was like, bloop, bloop, maybe a little shading done. Her lips are one of the things that make it cool. Because is she smiling? It's kind of like a little bit of a smirk. Kind of like a, I know something you don't know. And look at her eyes. That's one of the big things too about this painting. He painted her eyes with so many different colors. It's such a blend of color. Okay, her eyes aren't just brown. It's such a blend of color. Let me see if I can remember them all. We went into so much detail. Like we spent like a whole week on her in my art history class in college. It was really cool. But there's brown and there's like gold and there's beiges and there's yellows. But there's also reds like burgundies in her eyes. There's also some faint hints of green in her eyes. I mean, there's like all kinds of color in her eyes. Those colors give her eyes depth. It's part of what makes them look real. The Mona Lisa is the kind of painting that no matter where you are in the room, she's looking at you. In fact, in my class in person, I have anybody who wants to get up and walk from one side of the room to the other side of the room while they're watching her. And they're like, whoa, because it works. It looks like her eyes are following you. Take your laptop or your phone and just do this with it and follow her eyes. Don't break her gaze. Look at her eyes. And it looks like her eyes move. People genuinely in the Renaissance period thought that maybe he captured somebody's soul in this. They're so superstitious. There's nobody's soul captured here. It's just the technique that he used. But they had never seen this. See, to us, we're used to this. But they had never seen this before. So it was a big deal. I also want to point out, most artists have a style. They typically paint in the same style all the time. Like everything I paint, no matter what, it looks like a cartoon. I want to learn how to paint real, but I don't know how. Everything looks like a cartoon. Leonardo, in this painting, suddenly does something crazy. He shows that he can paint in multiple styles. She is made to look real. It's an art form called realism. She's supposed to look like a real female. The background, though, look at that. Where the crap is she? Is this any land you've ever seen before? Looks like something out of Lord of the Rings or something. And look right here. I know what you're thinking. Don't. She's sitting. This is the arm of a chair that her arm is on. And so if you look right here, come on, there we go. Do you see this? He wants it to be obvious that she pops in this painting. He wants her to pop, not just be like, oh, okay. He wants people to go, wow. And the way to make that happen is to make her crisp and bright realism, and to do the background as kind of smoky, not so crisp, not so clear. And it's called surrealism. Surreal means not real. When you hear people say like, oh, this feels so surreal, it means it doesn't feel real to them. Something doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel normal. He wants the background to look surreal. Surreal paintings are weird, man. I love surreal art, but it's weird. The crap is this? I don't know. It's not real. Um, what the crap is this? Oh, that's Dali. I can tell by the long-legged elephants. Dali is like the king of surrealism. It's D-A-L-Y. D-A-L-I. Surrealism is weird. It's not supposed to look real. You all know Dali, you just don't know you do. This one is probably the painting that you've seen before. This one. The melting clocks. And look, like Dali's weird. He's cool, he's weird. He's just weird. But anyway, surrealism is not supposed to look real. By doing that, Leonardo is able to make her pop in the painting. And then there's all this like question and drama about who is she? There's three theories. Don't ever jump to the conspiracy theory first. The most obvious theory is she's this lady, and I can't even remember her name now, but she's this lady from Florence who her husband was a merchant and had Leonardo paint her picture. Duh. The question with that, the problem with that, the I don't know, issue that conspiracy theorists have with that is, okay, why didn't he ever give it to her? Because Leonardo had this painting for like 15 years and he would like pull it out and work on it and stuff. I don't know. That's not how I work. I do a painting and then I sell that sucker. And I do a painting and I sell it. And I do a painting. I don't know. I don't have any paintings that I always go back to. That's just me. But he would work on this for like 15 years. So there's some people that are like, okay, it can't have just been a job to him. Maybe another theory. Maybe it's someone that he did love. Maybe a mother. Maybe a lover. Leonardo is famously bisexual, but it still could be a lover. Some people have theorized it could be a long lost daughter. Who knows? Who cares? But do we know that either? No. Another more interesting theory, this is the conspiracy theory, is that Leonardo was actually painting himself in female form. See, something weird happens. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. What would a video be without me sneezing? Right? You just wouldn't have any fun. This right here, if you go back to this drawing that Leonardo did, then if you go back to the Mona Lisa, okay, and you make them both the same size, obviously they have to be the same size, then you transpose them on top of each other. They're the exact same size, okay? You put them on top of each other. Something really crazy happens. Look. Her hairline fits with where his hairline should be. Even though it's receding, it fits with where his hairline should be. His eyebrow goes where hers should be. The eyes, perfect place. The nose fits perfectly. The mouth, he has a slight frown where she has a slight smile. Whoa. Could that be the case? Sure. Do we know? No. I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, so I'm like, it's usually the most obvious thing. But this right here is an interesting like progression, where like you start with here, and then if you like start transposing, putting his picture on top of her, look what happens. Everything like lines up perfectly. Why? Was he drawing himself in female form? I don't know. Or is it just his style that whenever he does people, he always has the eyes in the same place? He always has the nose in the same place. I don't know if you can see my paintings up there. I tend to do you see the very top blue one? Way up here. I tend to do females with huge eyes. Why? I don't know. I just do. Even this one over here, the orange one over here, I know it's hard for you to see, but they have big eyes. Why? I don't know. I just do. So maybe it's just his style and that's why they fit together. I don't know. But needless to say, Leonardo definitely is considered obviously a Renaissance man, but also really big time like considered to have been a true genius for back then. Like think about everything he invented. He was also a teacher. He taught other people how to paint and how to do all this stuff. Pretty smart dude, yeah. All right, tomorrow we'll actually look at one of his students. Another Ninja Turtle.